Hello everyone, I'm Ezekiel Kuhoga and I'm the main facilitator. Actually, I'm the founder of Talent Mindset, the collaborative coaching program that I'm establishing for the international talents, not only in Kuopio, though I live in Kuopio and this was targeted first for them, but I wish that, I'm looking forward to have this program impacting international talents throughout Finland and perhaps throughout the world. So now we have already one participant here and it's already time, so I will go straight to start presenting. Of course, most of the participants are late, but I believe they will be coming soon. So we might have some disruptions when someone is arriving here because they have to move around, but I hope you'll be able to manage through that. So I will do a presentation. I have about many slides, but of course each slide has very less information, about 22 slides. And so, as I mentioned on the post, I'll be discussing mostly on the talent mindset. What is this and what are the benefits and what could be the opportunities that should benefit us as international talents in Finland. No problem, this slide goes out automatically. Yes, so let me start. I would like to, and of course I'm talking very loud because I have only one microphone over there. Yes, So, what is the talent mindset? Like I said a few minutes ago, talent mindset is a collaborative coaching program. When I say collaborative, I mean that I'm looking forward, or I've actually started to approach some of the mentors here, some of the coaches, some of the trainers, experts, employers. So I've done my best to approach various people who we can refer to as experts in a way that they can come and contribute something, give some insights to international talents. That's the main essence of it. That's why we have this. And of course, at the moment, we already have existing, I would say, existing systems or methods of coaching here in Kuopio, particularly. And of course, I come from the city of Mikkeli. I moved to Kuopio early last year. So I can say the existing type of mentorship is based on one-on-one mentorship. You are being assigned one mentor or one coach, and then he takes you for about maybe 6 months or 1 year. It depends. And then so that has been the main form of mentorship that has been existing. But I see it's good because it makes you a little bit closer to your mentor if you have one-on-one relationship. But the limitation is that you only end up learning what your mentor is teaching you. What your mentor is knowing. So, for instance, I'm a mentor to Mr. Leslie here. And so, Mr. Leslie here, if he's stuck only to me as a mentor, that means you are being limited to only what I know and only what I can share. Yes, but through this program, I'm expecting Leslie to be able to hear from other mentors, to hear from other trainers, to hear from employers, and from many other people. And not just to hear, but to be able to have conversation with them and perhaps connect with them. So that is the biggest concept. And in this part, I can say that if you are a foreign talent in Finland, then you are an explorer. It's the same as those explorers that we had coming to Africa. Yes, and being an explorer, of course, later on you can decide to settle. Then you become a settler. But you first explore the new place and then you settle in that new place. And for any explorer, I would say one among the most important things for any explorer is a journal of somebody who has been there before. So we have other things, for example, like a map, resources. If you are exploring a place, you have to make sure that you have the resources to take you there and take you back, and the food and everything else. You have to make sure that you already know about these arrangements. But among those, you need to have a journal of somebody who has already been there before. And this is not in the presentation mode. How do I put this in the presentation mode? Okay, I believe this is in the presentation mode. No, not yet. Yes, so for you to be an explorer, you need to have a journal, somebody who has been there before, at least to tell you how other people have been behaving, other people who have been there before. What were their experiences? What went wrong? Why did that go wrong? What did he do? What was the feedback? And then if you go to some place, at least with some expectation, then you may have an ability to avoid some of the common problems that somebody, or you could easily repeat the same mistake. So in the very, very same manner, I would say, as international talents, in Finland, one among the most important tools that we should be able to use is the story, true stories from those who have been here before, those people who preceded us to come to Finland. They should be able to tell us the truth. What happened after graduation? What happened? What did you do? What was the outcome? How did you feel? And if somebody is able to share that, that means you should be able to have a more accurate expectation. And by having a right expectation, that means you are very likely to prepare in the right way to face that type of environment. But I would say in Finland, I don't know about other places. I've not lived in other places in the world long enough to be able to understand as much as I've lived in Tanzania and Finland. And I would say in Finland, most of the international talents, they have a tendency of not sharing the true stories. Yeah, so if you're not in Finland, then you have a big chance of never knowing what's happening here. Yeah, because for us who have come here, I could be doing my cleaning job, but as soon as I've managed to do my cleaning job, I will come out, dress very well, and then take a selfie and say, thank you, Finland, for wonderful and marvelous opportunities. But knowing well, since my graduation, I've not been able to secure a job. But this comes as a reason that I would be thinking that, like, all of my friends that I left back, for example, in Cameroon, what will they think of me? Because I came here very bright, very intelligent, and I assured them as soon as I graduate, I'm going to find a job. But now there's no job and I'm cleaning. What are you going to tell them? Should you tell them you are cleaning? Definitely no. Under no common sense. Okay. Yeah, so you'll just post yourself and say, I'm grateful for opportunities, I'm grateful for this. You would never say, I'm grateful for being a cleaner despite graduating in international business program from Savonia University. So that is one of the very, very, I would say, disadvantage. Because now from that, many people are coming in to Finland without the clear picture of what they should come and face. And they have wrong expectation, and at the end of the day, they come not prepared to face what they are supposed to face. So, telling about that, so I think I will tell about this story. And I listened to the speech from my brother Ricardo Patino, and he said, one of the strengths of any conversation, to make the conversation real, somebody must be willing to share the vulnerable story like that one. I should be able to tell people I'm cleaning despite me graduating PhD in a particular environment, because that's how you can help out some people. So for me, I graduated master's degree, University of Eastern Finland in 2018. That's about 6 years ago. So I'm a master's degree graduate 6 years back. And I got an opportunity to do my PhD at Aalto University, and actually I worked 6 months as the research assistant, or assistant to research. I don't know which one is it. Yes, the research assistant. Yes, and I was promised that as soon as I finished that program, I should have been able to continue with the PhD program with funding. Yeah, unfortunately, as I was starting my PhD program, then the funding which was supposed to be assigned to me was assigned to someone else who later joined our group in that university. So, and for me, I was somehow in a dilemma at that time because I was supposed to bring my wife and my kid who were living back in Tanzania back then. And you know, to bring a family from abroad here, you need to show a proof to Migri that you have enough funds to sustain them here. And so it brought me into the dilemma because initially I was depending on that fund to show it to Migri so that my family can come here, and the fund was taken away. So it was me to choose between PhD or bringing my family to Finland. So after very intense thinking, then I said I'm going to put aside the PhD program and I will continue with the process of bringing my family to Finland. So I had to search for a job, and luckily I got a cleaning job in one city called Mikkeli, and through that I was able to bring my wife and a boy to Finland. So I'm really grateful for that. Please come in.
Hello, sorry. Yeah.
Thank you for coming. Yeah, so through that I was able to bring my wife and child to Finland. So I'm really thankful for the cleaning job. Yeah, because it enabled me to bring my family here. And so apart from that, the only job which I succeeded to get, which was close to the field of my graduation, was an administrative role which I got under PRAIN. This PRAIN is a project which is under University of Eastern Finland. Could you remind me your name again?
Karim.
Karim. Yes, Karim. So this is live on YouTube. And also, I'm doing this on Teams for those who will be able to join us on Teams. I'm doing all online options to reach as many people as possible.
Okay.
And I have invited people. They should be full in this room now.
Okay.
Yeah, but time is still the challenge.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, yes. So, but we continue anyway. We continue anyway. Yes. So this is the only job which I succeeded, but and I did master's degree in photonics. I did not state that in photonics or physics, but it was very, very hard to get a job close to the field. And some people may say maybe you did not send enough applications. I did send a lot of applications, and not only sending applications, I showed up to some companies asking for volunteering opportunities. And in Finland they said, I'm sorry, you cannot work without a pay. We have to pay you if you want to work here. And we cannot pay you because you're not an employee, and we cannot employ you because you don't have experience. And I asked them, so how will I get experience if you don't give me a chance to build one? And they said, I'm sorry, we cannot help you. So that is more than 2 companies that I went and asked. Yeah, but for the remaining, I was just sending applications. Yeah, and I worked in that cleaning company, which I mentioned, for about 5 years. I'm really grateful for that one. And later on, I had to accept the challenge, and after accepting the challenge, that means before I was doing all this, I was doing this cleaning and other things, but not accepting my position. Like, this has really happened to me. And this is why also it becomes really hard to even share it publicly. Like, guys, hey, I'm a cleaner in Finland, because you have not accepted. Yeah, but later on I had to accept the challenge. And this was a good point for me to start to reflect on what went wrong and what should I fix. So the motive behind this program will come from this statement which you see here. What stopped me from succeeding in Finland as an expert, as a talent? What stopped me? But I will not discuss this now. Let us go first through this one. Starting from year 2023, I started a very simple survey, and I've done it even after I moved to Kuopio last year. So I was just asking random people I met, foreigners to be very specific, especially for those who are doing cleaning and world. So I could ask them, what are you doing apart from world, or what are you doing apart from cleaning? And then what I found out is that over 90% of those people I met and asked what are they doing beside cleaning or what, over 90% of those, they had higher education. That means they had, if not a bachelor, they had a master's degree. if not a master's degree, they had a PhD. Graduates. Yes, so most of them, they are very highly talented. If they are not highly educated, then they had experience. I've discussed with some brothers from India. Some had been managers in some companies back then. Some had been sales experts. Some had been HR specialists. Yeah, so that's what I discovered through my sample survey. And the sad part is that for the students that I managed to meet, some of them are students, for example, from Savonlinna University and University of Eastern Finland. And of course, they are doing other jobs. Maybe Prisma, they could be doing cleaning job somewhere else. Some are doing maybe, I don't know, all sorts of jobs. I would say those jobs which you can consider as the low ranked jobs. So the sad part is that most of the graduates that I was discussing to, they had no hope of things going well for them. They had no hope after coming to Finland. Before you come to Finland, you think you'll just go there, study, graduate, get a job, and things are going to be super okay. But as soon as you've landed here, you have spent the first year and get the testimonies now from those who graduated, then you lose hope. Like, okay, I don't have the language, I don't have the network, I'm done. So you can graduate, for example, international business, Savonlinna. I've met, of course, a lot of people doing Internet of Things, international business, and public health. But most of them, they are preparing mentally to do cleaning job and what. This has become the biggest target. It's very sad. And of course, Finnish language conversation is making it very, very hard. But also lack of good networking is also making things very worse. So, what if I told you that we have been looking at this challenge in the wrong way? Because after reflecting, then I realized at the last part that I was sorely interested or focusing on the wrong end of the beam, I would say. Please, welcome.
Thank you.
And so this is the point. So maybe first I would like to give you a story on, we are live on YouTube and also on Teams here. And we have some water there. I got some water, so you could help me. Any of you can help yourself. Sorry, I didn't put them here because I didn't think no one was coming. Yes, so I can tell a little bit about how I got a job tryout opportunity. And for those who don't know a job tryout, this is the service which you can get from a particular company. They don't hire you, but they give you an opportunity to work with them as a tryout. Please, come in. Thank you so much for coming. And be careful, there are cables down there, so you don't trip yourself. Thank you so much for coming. Yeah, so how I got my job tryout. So I was explaining this job tryout. So you don't get hired, but the company gives you an opportunity to work with them for, let's say, 6 months. And sometimes, of course, 6 months is maximum at the moment. So in the beginning, before I got a job tryout at this office is Employment Service Office in Finland. And so the first time I initiated contact with this office, I sent an email asking to come and work here because, first of all, this is an international house and I was very active doing the international things. And plus, I was, of course, very good in photography, podcasting. Yeah, so I just sent an email to one of the bosses here, and I will not mention the name. And she said, yeah, your CV is tremendous. I mentioned all things in my CV. She said, your CV is amazing, but I'm sorry, we don't have an opportunity for you. So that was my first email. I sent again another email to another boss from the same office. I got the same response. I sent another email again from another boss. I didn't get any response. Luckily enough, I met one lady. She's also working here, and she listened to my story and she understood my potential. Then, unfortunately, she was not in the position to make any decision. So she recommended me another name to send an email. I sent another email and I also got rejected kindly. You know, you look amazing, you have a talent, but I'm sorry we don't have that position right now. Yeah, but what changed is that the next thing is that I received an email after actually coming from Mikele to this place. I received an email welcoming me to the Welcome to Kuopio event. You know about this event? Yes. Yeah, so as I went to that event, what I noticed, first of all, the event was very, very, very brilliant, spectacular. They had a mayor there, plus other leaders whom I don't even remember because I was very new in Kuopio. Plus they had speakers, international people, giving their testimony to the international talents. So many things were going on. There were many companies over there telling out about opportunities, but there was no single camera recording the event. There was no one recording the event. Yeah, so I looked and then I said, this is what I'm going to use now to send my other email. So I went back home, I reconstructed the email, and this time I had pointed all the challenges. First of all, I had to tell them that, you know, this event is very spectacular. It's very good. But why are you wasting this much information? Because this information is very useful. Even though you are repeating the events, but you will never give the same information that you gave today. Even if it's the same announcement, the way you will tell it to this event, it will be different. Even if I give this presentation next week, I will probably use different words. I have to give this presentation 100 times to remember maybe over 75% of the words. Yeah, so I told them that challenge, that you are wasting a lot. And then I stated that I am good of doing this thing. I can help you to live stream, I can record, I can take pictures. And I sent an email. Of course, it stayed for about some time, but later on somebody got back to me and they said, please, you can come. And remember, I never even qualified for doing internship here because only students they are the ones who are privileged to get this internship at the international house. Only students. But I came here not as a student. And the first time I met the boss here was, of course, at the same event. Before I sent email, I went to talk to the boss and asked her I wanted to do internship here. And she said, if you're not a student, you cannot work here. Please ask somewhere else. Yeah, but later on, she is the one who sent another person to send me an email. And that's how I started to work here. So what can we learn from that story? So now we are getting back to that presentation. What stopped me from succeeding in Finland? Number one, I've come to learn that as international talents in Finland, we are not acting as talents and experts. And I've been giving an example in some other places I've been talking, like if you bring in an expert, say to come and fix your television, but that expert comes and then he starts asking you, what should I do? And then he's waiting for your permission to touch a TV. Definitely you are going to be puzzled, like, do you really know what you're doing? Do you really know what you're doing? An expert is supposed to come and maybe, first of all, he has to conduct himself as an expert by assessing the situation and then maybe asking, for instance, do you have this? Can I have this? Can I have that? Can you help me to lift this up or down? That's how I know an expert should behave in any environment. But we have not been acting as experts in Finland, in the large part. So we have been waiting for validation and favor from the employers, or from Finland, I'm saying. We've been waiting for that. Yeah, and this has been a problem because you graduate and hope somebody will come and, can I open this window? This room sometimes can be very warm. If you feel cold, let me know.
No, sure.
Yes, and now I will try to rush from here so that we can start discussion. Yeah, so we've been waiting for validation and favor from employers, including Finnish government. They have to come and say, please come and work with us. Also, we are seeking for help, but not to help. I was discussing today with my brother there, Sobi, that when you are going to an employer, the first thing you will do is to ask, please, can you give me a job? And if they would ask you, why should we give you a job? You say, of course, first of all, I've graduated, you will explain about yourself, but secondly, I need an income. That is very, very, very legit explanation. But the thing is, do you understand what your employer needs? You see, and you can still go to the same employer, but with a different approach, like I did. The first time, when I approached this office, I was asking for help. I was asking for an opportunity so that they can see my potential. But the second time, I had to spot what is their problem and suggested a solution. I said, I can help you with this. And I was called, despite not being qualified to come and work here, but I still came. And the other reason is that we are not offering the needed value. Do we know what employers need in this place? Do we know? The truth is, we don't, and we don't care. Majority of us, we don't care what they need. All we want is jobs. You have just graduated, let's say you have graduated Internet of Things, and then you are going to employer, please hire me, I've graduated Internet of Things. But they would say, so what can you give us? Of course, you would say, you would give them from list of the things you learned at school, but do you understand what are the challenges behind the business or the company? What are they struggling with? We have never cared about that one. Mostly we are seeking security. To be honest, I was that way. The first thing I was seeking is a contract, permanent contract. Because why? I want to be safe from migrant, which of course is very understandable, but still the wrong mindset, I would say. And Finnish language, which has been mentioned by many people, I've come to conclude that this is not on the list. This has never been the reason we are not succeeding in Finland. Though I'm not saying Finnish language is not important, it is very important. But I can give you this example, and I will do my best to conclude my discussion in about maybe 10 to 15 minutes. So this is an example. If you are going to the shop, let's say to buy some milk, and then let's say someone is going to the shop, and then he says, I couldn't get the milk. And you ask him, why you couldn't get the milk? He says, I couldn't get the milk because it needs walking. It needs me to walk to the shop. He makes sense, but doesn't make sense at the same time. Because walking to the shop is part of the process. You need to walk there. Of course, you can use a bicycle, you can use a car, but you have to make a move. And that is the Finnish language. It's part of the process. You are in Finland. If you start to integrate properly enough, language will come. Of course, learning it from the organized institution make it easier and faster. But if you integrate enough, you will definitely learn the language, because that is part of the process. So it is very crucial and very important, but it's not the reason we don't find jobs. The reasons we don't find jobs are the 4 or 5 reasons which I said above. We don't offer the value that is needed. We don't know how to approach the employers. We are waiting for validation and favor from employers. And I'm saying this because most of the people, like I said, they are extremely talented. They are extremely experienced. Like myself, I came to Finland. I came to Finland very talented. And most of the people that I ended up having one-to-one discussion, they would tell me, please, come in.
Thank you.
And watch out, there are some cables down there, so you don't trip over. Yeah, so most of the people that I was meeting and have discussion one-on-one, they would tell me, man, you look extremely talented. Even for last week, I met with one guy from TE Live. I don't even remember his name. So we were discussing about different things, and he said he had gone on my profile, and depending on what I've already done, the podcast. So he's a professional journalist, and he had to check if I follow those fundamentals. I've never studied journalism, so I have no idea what's done. But he came back with a feedback that you are extremely talented, and he said you are even overvalued. Like in this place, you have even crossed the value that we could need. And that has been the case for most of the people here. They have extreme talents, but they're waiting for validation and favor from the employers. And so what's the solution? The solution, First of all, I have to say that we don't need help in looking for a job. And I've been telling this even to my boss here. Several times we have a discussion. I will see how much they arrange programs to help international people looking for a job. I've been telling them we don't need help in looking for a job. We don't need that. Of course, I've been doing that, you remember. I've come help people, CV and that, and I've even help you. Yeah, but this has been giving me a hard time because I don't believe we need that help. We are above that. We are above looking for a job. We need, first of all, to know how to build value. How do you build value that is needed here? And how can I differentiate value from the talent? Because some people, they can think talent and value is one thing. These are two different things, or skill. Skill or talent is like a stone which is underground. Unless it has been recognized and accepted by users and being demanded, that stone has no value. Though it's still a stone, it could be a diamond. But if diamond was not known today to people, then diamond would have no value. But as soon as the diamond has been discovered and has got into use, or maybe not into use, but people have, like for example, it is being said that some minerals have been discovered on the moon. No one has used them yet. But the fact that some people have started speculating that those minerals could be very valuable, they have already gained such value. Now they are in demand because people think they need. So likewise, you build the value first by finding ways to establish a link between your talent and the skill and what is needed in the industry. What is needed? Like I gave an example, I had to establish a link between myself and this office. First of all, when I went to that Welcome to Kuopio event, I realized they needed a photographer, and I told them I'm a photographer. So I established the link through that, and I became valuable through that. Of course, it was very complicated for them to give me a job because of the environment, and later on, of course, I investigated. It was true. They had no position for that. And there is so much bureaucracy here because someone as an individual cannot just decide to give you a job. Someone from top has to decide. That's what makes it hard. Yes, but the thing is, now with the link established, trust was established after that. And this is how I was even able to get this room. I was talking to Luby earlier today, and I told him, where can you go to the Finnish government and tell them, please, I need to host an event in your office. And they say, please come, use. It's not easy as that. You have to gain some trust. And trust, you gain trust with the value. Somebody has to think that there is some value which you can offer. But also we need to know how to sell. Most people, when you say how to sell, they think of, sitting in the shop and selling things, taking money somewhere. It's not about that. But how do you influence others? How do you make others know that you have got the talent which they need? I've read some books in selling, and one key in selling something successfully, they say, for example, this was Psychology of Selling, which has been written by Brian Tracy. He says, for you to sell something successful, you have to be able to help someone to realize that they need something, which means most of the time the customer does not know what they need. All customers, they don't know what they need. They know what they want at that time. That's why I would say most people, they like to joke on women, but I would say it's all over. In this way, when a woman can plan to buy, let's say, a tea bag, but as soon as she comes out of the Prisma, she comes out with a whole bag of all stuff, and you'll be surprised why. She only said she would buy only one tea bag, and now she's coming with a soap, with perfume, with everything else, because when she was going through, then as soon as she saw a perfume, then she discovered, oh my God, I need this. And then she saw a new soap, oh my God, I need this, oh I need this. Then you're starting to discover things. But that's how all humans behave. Maybe it could be extreme for some people, but that's how all people behave. So our task is to help these employers and businesses to discover some of the things which they don't have. That's why for now we might blame them, they don't hire us, but they don't think within us. So likewise, as this office, they didn't see the need of taking pictures, they didn't see of live streaming the Welcome to Kuopio event until when I told them, so you need to do this. So that is what I think we as international talents need to do. How can we sell what we already have? And this forms the basis of this program, the talent mindset. So the meaning and the motive of the talent mindset, this is a collaborative coaching program. And under this program, so what I'm looking for is to feature different coaches and mentors in the region of Kuopio, and of course I'm trying now to approach even those outside of Kuopio because we have Microsoft Teams. Even in Tanzania, in Kenya, I've started to come in contact with some people who are good in particular area. Maybe they can come and share with us some tips on how we can do good in one area. Participants should also have an opportunity to experiment and try out, demonstrate and also showcase their talent to other customers. For example, I've already been in contact with some schools and some clubs. For example, Hapanostamo, if you're active on LinkedIn, you should be able to know what is Hapanostamo. He's very active. I don't know if you're connected to them. But also I've been in contact, for example, with one primary school, I think Lumit, is it called Lumit?
No, the high school.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I went there and I met with the vice president. And of course, initially she thought I was looking for jobs, so she was also kind of trying to reject me. But I was able to sell myself. You know, they say in selling you have to give an impression within the first 3 seconds. You have to give an impression for someone to sit down and listen. I was able to do that. So from our discussion, then she realized that we are able to start offering some services to their students. And she said, we actually need that. I gave her an example, like we have some medical doctors who are doing public care, for example, UEF. These medical doctors are able to come up with different topics for the youth, how these youth should conduct themselves healthy-wise as they grow, as they interact. We can have this regular conversation, about entrepreneurship. People graduating from BBA, Savonia University, they should be able to come up with these topics. What are the topics do you think young people from high school should understand about entrepreneurship? Of course, not only high school, but even about businesses. We have majority of businesses in Finland, which are local in Finland, they are locked inside of the border. Most of the businesses, I think, which are outside as well, they are foreign business, like Lidu. Yeah. Most of them, they are from other countries, but most of the businesses which are local in Finland, they are inside. And they need some people to tell them how should they go beyond borders. So we have these people doing international business, but they don't find any use after graduating. So these are the areas which we could do that. And many people, they have received this very well. They said, we are open. We would really love to learn from the international talents. So this is a very big opportunity. And so main roles for the contributors will be, of course, to teach through seminar and webinar. This is a seminar and webinar through Teams. And apart from that, there will be some courses. And actually, we already have one, Mr. Subi. Subi will be one also of the mentors of this program. Subi, you have your company. Can you tell us a little bit?
Yeah, so I was in the process of forming a cybersecurity services company. So it's called Cyber Everywhere. And we aim to collaborate even with Ezekiel to give talents a chance to showcase their skills and to also develop their skills and to polish them. Yeah.
Yes, so he will be one of the mentors, very good in cybersecurity. You have done any kind of things program, Savonia University?
Yeah.
Yes, so we are looking forward to offering some courses. For example, myself, I believe I have a lot of things which I could also teach. So I'm looking forward to prepare many courses. I've also approached many mentors. I cannot mention their names, I don't think you know them. They've all agreed to participate. First in speaking through this program as I'm doing now, but also offering some courses. And so involved in programs, as I said, we'll be having some teachings, but also courses. some visits, and where possible, demonstrations and web tryouts at different sites, as I just explained. But also, we are looking forward to have some organized topics, organized talks at different topics from different locations. This should be able to help us at least to understand other people from the other side, speaking about the Finnish society. Yeah, so like I mentioned, Hub Panostamo is a hub of Finnish entrepreneurs in the North South region. And I have been in conversation with, like, I don't know, is he the president or something like that, or the chairperson, with him, and so we are trying to figure out how should we conduct ourselves. But we should be able to meet with those entrepreneurs, Finnish entrepreneurs, and discuss with them how do they take us, what help do they need from us, how should we conduct ourselves in order to have effective integration. Means of delivery, of course, physical attendance, like we are doing now, but as you can see, we have very limited seats. I'm still looking for the bigger venue. If I'll be able to get that, that means we'll have more number of attendance, but also Microsoft Teams. So as I speak now, I'm also speaking to Microsoft Teams, but also YouTube live streams. We have a camera over there. I'm live streaming on YouTube at Kuopio Times YouTube page, but also I'm expecting to do some replays. Now, this is the first time I'm live streaming in this room. I don't know the quality of sound or something like that. But if it's very good, then I can post shorter videos, because this one is going to be 2 hours long. Yes, and also I will be publishing through my personal pages. And this is the place, of course, this is like our main base. I discussed with my boss, I don't want to mention her name, and we agreed this could be our place of meeting. So this is like our home now. And of course, this session will be every Friday, like today from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. throughout, like endless. And each session will have its own registration, because we need to know how many people will come and fit here. And also priority to attend a session physically is given to those who registered as Kuopio talents. If you're not in Facebook or LinkedIn, please, I would say, join those platforms, especially LinkedIn, because that's where you connect with employers, with other employers. That's where you connect. If you are good enough, then you increase the chance. You are not guaranteed to get a job through LinkedIn, but at least you have a better chance because you have more exposure now. So join there. If you joined, I created a group which I call Kuopio Talents. So when you join there, you also have an option to register. If you register, that means you get some rights, like this one. So if you register, both in Kuopio Talents and for the session, that means you get the priority to come and sit here physically, which has more benefits, because now you have one-to-one discussion, direct discussion with people who came here. And about broadcasting, of course, all announcements, programs, and posts about this program, I'll be posting using the Talent Mindset pages. I've created pages on Facebook and LinkedIn. And those are the ones which I'll be using to publish all the announcement and programs. And about live streaming, I've already explained that all of our sessions will be live streamed, as I do now, but also will be using Teams. This should also be of great benefit to you as talents, because at some point, I will also give you an opportunity to come and present something here. And with the efforts that I'm putting towards digital marketing, I believe you should be able to be exposed more to the networks which I'm connected to. And so what's my task? My main task, of course, for now, I'm the founder and the main facilitator of this program. But so I will also be doing all the marketing like I've been doing, but also the communication. So I'm acting also at the same time, communicating with other businesses, with other organizations, other mentors, yeah, something like that. But also I'm looking forward to assist other mentors, for example, in preparing some courses. Maybe he wants to teach about entrepreneurship, but he's too busy. And then he needs some help with recruiting people to the course, something like that, so I can help with that. So this is my value. as I was speaking before. And I have already contacted most of the coaches and I've told these things. I can help you with this. And this is an opportunity for them. It's not like I'm asking for their help, like, please, can you help me? I want to help you. No. For now, I'm helping them. Yeah, even one of the entrepreneur coach, when I told her about this, she was very happy. She's finished, and she even got excited. She said, "Now I'm starting to prepare courses for the international students." After hearing from me that I'm willing to help her reaching international students, and she even said, "Please, I can even give you the so-called affiliate link. That if now she recruits some students, portion of her revenue that she's getting from the students should come to me." She even offered me to that out of excitation. And this is what happens when you offer something. And I'm open. There's a room for anyone to add something. If you think like, I want to contribute something to this program, at least to make it better, again, another opportunity for you to create value. You are open to do that. So you can go home, think, what do you think you can add to what's going on, at least to make it more valuable? And so that is all about the Talent Mindset program. That was too much information. I don't know if that was clearly communicated. So now let us go into the question and answers. But before we jump there, we have the washroom. If this is the very first time you come here, the washrooms are on this direction. We have 2 rooms. At the end over there. Yeah, so those are the washrooms. Apart from that, feel free to move around if you have sat down for too long. Maybe I should welcome any questions, any concern, correction. I stand to be corrected. I don't know everything. I could be wrong somewhere. What are your thoughts based on what I discussed here? If you don't have questions, maybe I could ask some questions. Maybe we can start with my brother. You can introduce yourself and then tell me, what do you think?
Yeah, I am Sajjad. I came from Bangladesh last month in December. I am not a student. I came as a spouse. My wife is a student. So, although I am looking for opportunities, jobs here, but I think one of the point I have, sorry, the word is.
Yes, take your time.
Interested me, like you said, build value and know how to sell your value.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that point very much. So I'm not just, I don't need only to look for jobs, I need to build up a career or create my value, I think. So I think from this much presentation, I'm taking this with me for the future. Thank you.
Fantastic, all the best. And also from one of the speaker and writer, they call him Zig Ziglar. You can search him. Zig Ziglar, I think he was a professional seller. Yeah, he was a professional salesman. And one of the points which he emphasized is that everyone in this earth, every person is selling something. Every person. As a child, you need sometimes to persuade your parents about something which you want. As a parent, as a husband, you need to sell some ideas to your wife. As a wife, you need to sell some ideas to your husband. They need to accept something. You need to persuade them about something. Otherwise, you will always be pushed around to things which you don't like. But the difference is we have good and bad salespeople. That's the beginning. But everyone is selling something. So your strength comes from your ability to sell. So even for ourselves, I would say most of the international talents in Finland, we have been very bad sellers. We are very bad salesmen and saleswomen. So imagine, I think I talked this to you when we met in Torcat 5, that imagine you are selling this in your shop, and then you go out on the road and somebody just passes by, and then you start complaining, why are you not buying what I have in the shop? First of all, you have hidden your skills somewhere someone cannot be able to see. And I'm saying you have hidden because the only way somebody can see your skill is not through your CV. We know anyone can write on your CV, I can do this. But there's only one way I can know your skill. For example, the only way you can know that I'm able to speak is because I'm speaking now. And you have been able to see how much I can organize my thoughts and present them. This is an evidence of a skill, which everybody should be using. Yeah, but for us, you just go and complain, please, why are you not hiring me? But they have doubts. Are you really good, or are you going to cause some loss? And it's a huge loss to a company to hire and realize you are not as good as you said you could have been. They have to now find a way that will accommodate you with losses, or fire you and hire again another person. That's one of the reasons it's very hard to get jobs in this place. What are your thoughts?
I'm Anifa from Sri Lanka, and I'm doing my master's in sustainability leadership in UEL. And why I'm here today is I have a small business idea.
Fantastic.
Also, it's not about the business idea, right? So it's about the environment.
Yes.
It's about everything around you, right? So that's what I have to learn here. So before I go for it. So and also to build my career itself.
Yes.
And here I did my bachelor's in entrepreneurship and management. So I had a small business back in Sri Lanka, but
fantastic.
it's like when you move, you have to learn everything before you
That's
start
true.
with something, right? So I'm here because of that, and it's very interesting, this program.
Yeah.
And I'm planning to engage with these programs in the future as well. And I started following your TikTok channel as well.
Thank
It's
you.
very interesting content.
Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you. Happy to connect. I'm happy at last to meet with some of my followers. This is fantastic. And maybe to also add to that is that I believe initially when Finland was opening doors to international talents, initially I believe they needed more entrepreneurs than people to come and work. Yeah, if you have listened to some of the video, of course, which has been criticized by some of the people, I mentioned Finland is not a developed country, which of course contradicts what is published out there. But I'm the kind of a person who don't believe everything, even if it's officially published by WHO, that is the truth. We know there is so much propaganda going out there. Though I'm not saying Finland is not developed, Finland is developed according to their policies, but I regard Finland as a developing nation. Maybe it's not the same as Tanzania or Kenya or something like that. We are totally different, but it's developing. So they don't need as much as workers, like just people to come and work. They don't need that, because over 50% of businesses in Finland, they are private trader. I have a company, of course, but I have a company as a private trader. I am the company. If you come and ask a job from me, what do you think I would give you? I don't even have a revenue now. I'm even now starting a business. And majority, over 50% of businesses in Finland, they are in that situation. So, and this is somehow, I think it's a very sensitive topic to discuss. Some people can get offended easy, but it's very important because without this conversation, we end up with some false narratives. For example, one of the false narratives is that they don't want to give us a job because we insist they can and they don't want to. But when you go and talk to them, you realize they want, but they can't. I stated, for me, I don't just read and listen to other people. I have talked to business people. Like I mentioned, I've been approaching different people. For example, went to this high school, talked to the president, asked them about the challenges. I went to Hapa Nostamo, talked to them. So what I've been saying are the things which I've been hearing from Finns themselves. When you talk to them one-on-one, they open up. But of course, they always hate when it comes to media. When you point a camera, then they're like, oh man, what if something can go wrong? I don't want to be the one on that camera if something goes wrong. That's what happens. So they don't share, they don't become that open when it comes to media. But that's the truth. They really want to hire, but they can't. When I was working here, I even worked with some of the people who also had other private companies. But as soon as they got opportunity to come and work here, they had to close their businesses because this is the only way they get money. When this was, for example, when this was changing from T office to employment services, even most of the firms, they lost their jobs. Most of them lost their jobs. And now for them losing their jobs, they have to go back to their businesses. But their businesses, they have to get help also from the government as entrepreneurs. As an entrepreneur here, there is a supporting fund as well. There are many companies supporting. So most of the businesses, they operate through support from outside. They are not as independent as you would think. And so this is one of the reasons why finding jobs is very hard, because very few companies are able to accept people. And we have very big population of people looking for jobs. But most of them, they have businesses, yes, but their business is as big as he can afford to accommodate. He cannot hire. So for them having more entrepreneurs, that means you even create more job opportunities for people here in Finland. And that's what I believe initially was intended. That's why Finland was offering. And of course, some people would say Finland has been very racist or something like that. I don't think they also look into history very much. I also stated in one of the videos that initially, but actually not very long time ago, from just 2008, I spoke with some of the guys who came here as foreigners. Finland was paying for them for everything. You don't pay a fee, you don't pay rent, you don't pay food, you eat food free of charge. Everything, you just come and go to class. But do you think Finland would do that to you, only thinking after that they should give you again a job? They give you that because they believe you will help them out with something after you graduate. Yeah, but years and years have been going by, and then after you graduate, you're like, please give me something to do now. I've graduated. And they're like, but please, you're supposed to tell us what to do. So that has been going on for some time. And now we have got a prime minister. I wouldn't say he's racist. I would not say, maybe he is, but I would not say he's racist. But I can say he's a little bit less tolerant. The previous prime minister was very tolerant. They tried to understand immigrants. Please, maybe they are trying this. But this guy is like, no, it has been far too long. Now it's enough. Please cut the funding here, put the money here, because we don't see any fruits here. What are your thoughts?
So I'm Danshika. I'm also from Sri Lanka.
Nice to meet you.
I'm doing my master's degree in facilitator leadership. So the main reason for me to join this program is that I need to identify what are my skills, and like you said, what are my talent and shaping them and polishing them. And at the same time, I need to identify what are my weaknesses also, and where I lack. So those things also need to be developed in order to get ready for me to look for my career paths.
Fantastic.
And increasing my career opportunities. So I think this is a good opportunity for me to achieve those targets and objectives.
Fantastic. That's what we should be doing. What are your thoughts? And please, if this is too cold, we can close it. I will open this one.
Hi, my name is Ezekiel Kuhoga. I'm also currently pursuing my master's degree in sustainability in India. So I'm here actually because I'm interested in entrepreneurship. So I have some thoughts, and I want to know from the best, because this is a new country, how to channelize all those things, because here we have the different information in the internet platform,
Yeah.
but still we are not able to get through, because it's written something, but the base, still we don't know from where to start. So as I have already met you, so I found and you try to help someone who's looking for it, so I am here for it.
Yeah, that's true. I would say I agree with you. One of the challenge in Finland, one of the problems which is existing is someone said they function in bubbles. In bubbles in such a way that the information circulates only within that organization and their small network. It never goes outside. So if you are new here, there is a very small possibility you can know what's going on. And that, not even considering the language yet. Yeah, so things about Kela, you have to know Kela to know what they are saying. If you have never heard about Kela, you will never know what they are announcing. So even for my case, I first knew about TE office, which is very helpful to the internationals. Now it has already been abolished and assignment has been moved into employment services. But TE office, I started to know it 2023, from 2018. So I was applying for jobs manually, something like that, which is what majority of international people do. Yes, and then 2023, then I knew about TE office, and I realized that they even help people to look for a job. So the first time after I was assigned to, after I went to TE office and registered there as a job seeker, 2023, I was assigned to a particular project, and through that project, there was one lady, she was really helping me out to look for a job. Now she even was calling people for me. And I was even able to get up to 4 jobs, actually four interviews within 2 months. Now this is apart from interviews from here, those really interviews that you're being called. So I got up to 4 interviews in 2 months, and I got 2 jobs at once from Finnish company. And one of the company which they wanted to hire me had an MD who was struggling with English. He could not speak, he could hardly speak English. But when I talked to him, after my coach spoke to him about me, then he was insisting I should work there. Of course, I had to reject his offer because I got another offer from University of Eastern Finland. Yeah, so I wanted to go at least close to the field which I wanted. Of course, this job which I got was in Juva. Of course, it was a little bit far from the city I was living, but also it was in solar. So of course, it's also close to my profession because I also did bachelor in electronics and telecommunication engineering. Yeah, but I wanted to be more close to photonics, so I had to deny this one job. That was a new experience. I was like really from struggling 5 years, not getting job, to denying one opportunity. Yeah, but what I realized is that there are jobs. There are job opportunities, many of those which are unfilled, yet they're waiting for right persons. That's why even if you're for Roham, right?
Yeah.
Roham, after he decided to be very active and opening up that he's looking for a job, he mentioned on his post that he ended up getting 3 offers at once. And a few days before he was complaining also, there are no jobs. So you come to realize that there are jobs there. If people are able to give you a job when you show you are desperate and you can fit, then that means there are opportunities. But we just need how to maneuver ourselves in a way that we can be fit for the opportunities. Tell me, what are your thoughts? Welcome.
Thank you very much. Hello everyone.
Good afternoon. I'm Leslie from Cameroon, studying surveillance and applied science, IoT. Fast forward, when I was coming to Finland, I knew when I was just coming, I was like, in a space of a week, I'll just get a job and life would be like a bed of roses. But I just surprised myself, this is like one of the toughest times in my life because coming from Cameroon before, if I was actually in Seychelles, I worked in Seychelles for 6 years. I was working in Dubai, so from somebody who was like touching money, come to Finland and you see yourself like wanting and you have a family back home who are like asking how are things that way. As you rightly said, social media like in quotes, this is some of us. If I knew the situation on the ground, I wouldn't have come.
Yeah.
Because these bloggers will tell you in Finland is that
Free
jobs,
education.
free education, housing is free, this is free. I was like, wow, let me come and explore this place. So when I came, I met the reality. But thank God for corporate talents and talent of Samuel that will help me a lot. Because at one point I was like almost getting to the point like being traumatized. But
That's very true.
yeah, because but now I'm fine now because like meeting him, Ezekiel has really helped me like building my mind and like encouraging me too. So there's hope. It's true, I've learned a lot. And I know now that you need to add value to yourself and able to sell yourself. So thank you once more.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, that is very true, and it's traumatizing to majority of people here. Yeah, because as you come to Finland, as I said once again, you come with a different image than what you come to see once you get here. It's really frustrating, really frustrating. Tell me, what are your thoughts?
Yes, hi guys, I'm Karim. I'm 19 years old. I live in Italy. I'm here right now for 1 month and a half. Yeah, but me like honestly, yeah, same thing of you, when you come, you like, how to say it? For example, if you type on Google, when is the most happy country in the world, is #1, you know?
Yes?
So that your mind will change it down and
Yeah, like things just go straight.
yes, exactly. You know?
Yeah.
And then right now I'm do trials in coops. Honestly, I want to be like professional football player. But if it doesn't work, maybe I will try to continue my school and study, work, and do like normal life. Yeah.
Fantastic. Mr. Sobi, tell us, what do you think?
Thank you. So, for myself, I've been here for close to 4 years. So I was in my final year of Internet of Things in Savonia. So I can relate to all of your experiences because we all come here with a certain expectation that will come and then things will be smooth, opportunities will come, but then you kind of get a reality check. And when you get the reality check, sometimes for some people it might be almost putting them down completely, because you tend to say that, okay, because these other people, this is how it's gone for them, also for me it's going to be the same way. So, I mean, in my journey of being in Finland, I've experienced both sides, the employment and unemployment side. Experience how it is when you get that job you want to do, for example, those student jobs, and how it feels when you start earning an income, you feel some sort of fulfillment for a while, and then the reality hits you that you are just on a straight path, you're not progressing career-wise, and the thing that brought you here. So it might be a bit heartbreaking when the reality comes in. But talking to Ezekiel also, it made me realize that there are people who are willing to, as he said with the diamonds, they're willing to unearth those diamonds, willing to give people an ability to showcase their skills, because all of us here, we're here because we have a specific skill and we have a specific value. But we need that polishing, all of us. We need the polishing because we need to show our value. Because I would say that most of us here, we probably are not working at the moment. And there may be something that is stopping us from that, as you said, the employer seeing our value, because we think that we need them, but it's them who, when they put out the job advertisement, they need you, but we are the ones who feel like we need them. So I believe I volunteered to be one of the coaches because I think I would have something to offer in terms of cybersecurity, but not just cybersecurity, but in teaching people how to build their personal brands. And I've also taken an initiative personally to learn about how to build a personal brand, and not just a brand, but a reputable brand that people can see that, okay, this is Ezekiel, this is what he's done, this is his personality, and this is someone who we feel would be of value to our team. So I'm excited for this because in my time in Finland, there's been nothing like this, but it seems like Finland is really changing and growing and internationalizing. Yeah, things have been tough the past few years, especially after the Ukraine war that's been going on. Things kind of went down, but sometimes those tough times, they create better opportunities later on. And I feel that we are all here at the right place at the right time, and we just need to show our value, and we need to be able to be confident in the little skill that you have. No matter how, you may not be perfect at it, but because you possess it, you can use it as a baseline to build and to grow and to become a confident, proficient individual, and you'll attract the recruiters to you, and not the other way that you'll be sending CVs, but they'll see what you're doing, they can see your story, your progression and your growth, and it attracts them towards you. So it takes time, but we're all on the right track. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's true. You, especially the two of you, of course, three of you have pointed one very important thing, which I presented in the very beginning, that that has been a challenge. For us who have been here in Finland before, we always don't want to share the truth on the media as much as we share, the celebration of life, something like that. Because I'm afraid I would be embarrassed sharing as a graduate, master's degree graduate, doing cleaning, maybe Prisma or somewhere else, and then take us, guys, I'm cleaning here. You'd be like, my parents can go mad. What if my mom would know I'm now cleaning here? You will do your best to have that, you have your ex over there in your home country. They would celebrate that. So at the end of the day, you only share the positive stuff. You finish your cleaning, you dress up really cool, and then you take up a selfie and post. Thank you, Finland, for the big opportunity of education. You see. So at the end of the day, I come to Finland very new, and I'm like, man, this is cool. Free education, happiest country in the world. Something's going to happen. And then I come to Finland. So that has been one of the problems. But we as explorers, I mentioned that as an explorer in any new place, among the most important things is the journals of those who have been there before. They're realistic. That's why even the companies, if they send you to explore some place, they will not ask you first for financial reports or something like that. They will want your journal. Your report. Where is your report? Show us what happened there. Because by telling the report, then at least you give them the picture, what to expect and how to prepare. If there are some mistakes, then you are able to prepare for that and maybe do some different inputs. Apart from that, if you all go blindly to a same spot in a darkness, you are very likely to all go into the same pit. And that has been happening here. Yeah, I believe we should have been able to do that. And it shows how strange this is based also on how the reactions I got, for example, on social media. Many people are even afraid to comment on this discussion because they're like, if I comment on this, it can retaliate. Maybe I could lose a job by saying this, but they know inward it's true. But I think at some point, as long as you believe it's right, it's not a crime to say the truth, you just say it. Sometimes it can lead to better solutions. And here we have another volunteer mentor here. I approached him and he accepted also. He's very good. You are doing podcasting. Maybe you can introduce yourself.
All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Calvin Alec, and I'm a graduate from Savonia. And I'm also a podcaster with Business Center, the Entrepreneur's Diary. Maybe not a lot of people must have heard about it because it's still kind of growing for now. And I took up this exploration with Ezekiel to be part of the mentors here. I think it's an interesting thing that he's doing. I think it's a huge opportunity for internationals and locals as well to also show some certain level of interest because, I mean, you all have already said everything that goes on, you know. There are many things that isn't being said on social media and relating it to what's happening in real life. But however, it shouldn't be something that should weigh you down.
Yeah.
Just pick your heads up and just keep moving. So I can't wait to meet every one of you. I'm sure everyone here has something to offer to the community. So yeah, I'm really excited to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, then perhaps I should pose one question, which will also start from there, the same way. And this will be our closing discussion. Maybe we can discuss for about 30 minutes. Maybe we can close by 3:45. Do you think it's possible to excel in your field, basing on what I've presented, taking into account everything? Do you think it's possible to excel in your field of expertise here in Finland? What do you think? We can start from you.
I'm not sure yet. I have to think about it, I think. But as I said earlier, the value part might help me to showcase my...
Sorry, I have to... I zoomed my camera. I need to zoom it back. Yes, please continue.
As I was saying, that the value part, adding value might show my qualities or experiences or the qualifications I brought from my country, but implementing it might be need some thinking to do. Thank you.
Okay. What do you think? Do you think it's possible to excel in the area of expertise in Finland?
Yes, so my expertise was as a profession in Sri Lanka. I was a revenue cycle management side. So I am not sure right now whether I can do it, the same thing here. But my passion was baking and towards the restaurants and those type of things. So I'm definitely sure that I can explore from that side.
Okay, fantastic. What do you think?
So a professional accountant in my home country.
Yes.
And so I had some conversations with some other people here, and they told that the financial accounting and financial societies have some kind of opportunity because the standards and the applications are same in all the around, the knowledge is same. So there might be some kind of opportunity in that field, and at the same time now we are doing the sustainability leadership program. That program it's like a very demanding, I think, it's very kind of a demanding program in here because of that sustainable development goal. It's not in Finland also, but also within the Europe countries. So I hope that there will be good opportunities for my areas of expertise.
Okay. And what do you think?
And then in the home country, I worked as an HR as well. So I have got experience on that. So I explored that option here. But still somehow I got to know that language barrier is there. So in that case, even talent acquisition part, I applied where there was opportunity for the English speaker, but yet I didn't receive any positive kind of after that I also used to have my own business. Me and my brother, he is based on the accounting field. So we had our own business in the accountancy. So I used to pitch and bring the clients, and he was the one to provide the service related with the accountancy, and I was there to handle all the human resources in our office. So that somehow I am more interested in entrepreneurship. So I used to work as HR. I use that in my own business also. So that's the thing. So from here, I think I can we learn more skills, because that was only related and suitable for my home country. But this is the international platform where I found that there are a lot of skills that I need to add on. So, like, yeah, definitely focusing on skills. But on the other side, I also want to focus is like, we want to add on the skills, but there are some financial issues that we need to take care of. And it's like, we have some money that we bring from our home country, but to some months it goes on.
Yeah.
But after that, question mark. So it's like if you get any opportunity, for example, you go about the cleaning or anything. So it's like we need to go on through those also. Yes. But as you told, like on the way, we feel like, are we forgetting our main goal? So that's the next like thought that we go on. So we hear in the side, like we need to manage everything. So that's like somehow we get the less time, or we are not able to manage that time for our main goal. So I think this kind of programs really help us to add on, and these connections that we are meeting today, like physically or like through different platforms, I think these are the things that help the internationals really in a good way to find the proper channel, like adding on the skills as well as what we want to do in future in a collaborative way. So because here, instead of focusing, I think teamwork, it is important, because someone is specialized in some skills, some is in others. So a teamwork can bring a better solution, and that better solution leads to proper business thoughts. So I think so.
Okay, fantastic. You have really raised an important point of people forgetting the main cause, and I think that has also been the case for majority of people here. Because once you get the cash flow in, it's hard to get out. Very hard to get out, and some people, they decide to choose, please. Maybe I hope, maybe after 5, maybe 2 years, after 3 years, but you keep on going, then it's 10 years, then 20 years, then like, okay, then this is my life.
It's like, it's better to get something than nothing. So if that's the main goal, the survival first comes in. I think that's the focus where people will deviate from the main goal for a certain time, but they get stuck again.
Yeah. Yeah, Mr. Leslie, what do you think? Is it possible for someone to excel in an area of expertise?
For me, the question is like a two-way traffic. It's a yes and a no. Like I will start with the positive part first. If, as you are saying, if you have the right network in the work, then students have come to learn, and that in Finland is easier to get a job through recommendation. So if when you are a student, you are studying, you go for internship somewhere, you give your best, show your talent, and make sure you put in your best effort, be on time, just follow the rules of the company. At the end of your studies, you see that you can get recommendation from the various companies where you did your internship.
Please continue. I'll bring some water.
So it's easier for you to get a job in that respect. But another thing is native part that you should be prepared for anything. The way the country is very difficult. You can still have the talent and you don't succeed because maybe for 1 or 2 reasons beyond our control. So you should prepare for the worst while expecting the best too. So that's what I think.
Okay. Okay, perhaps I can hear it from you. What do you think? Is it possible for someone to excel in an area of expertise?
I think it's very possible. I think the problem is we have too many choices. Like you just said, like when you come here, you have the opportunity to either clean or follow your passion. But think about this. Imagine if the only option you had was to follow your passion. What would you do? You follow your passion, right? But because you have another option to clean, then so I think it's definitely possible. The problem is always you have to make choices. That's it.
Very strong point. What do you think?
Honestly, I don't know because I don't.
Just tell me your thoughts based on what I discussed, based on everything that you have experienced in 1 month.
Like I said, what he said, you have like maybe too many options, and you can decide what you follow, your passion or but like I have to adapt to understand a little bit the Finnish system, I don't know like too much yet, so.
Yeah, gotcha. Mr. Subi, what do you think?
I think the success lies within us if we were to succeed. Because, I was undertaking a LinkedIn bootcamp from the beginning of this week. It's for 30 days. And the lady who's leading the bootcamp, she's built a strong online presence on LinkedIn. She has almost, I was telling Ezekiel, she has almost 64,000 followers. And every day she's generating 200 new followers each day. But before she reached that place of success, it took struggles. It took her investing, like every day she would invest like an hour or 2 hours to just put out content, regardless of how much, regardless of what it took, she always made that initiative. And when people saw that, she began to attract people towards her. So when I listen to all of you, and especially you, I see that you have something that even I myself starting a company would be like, I would want to connect with you and hear from you because you have that skill. But I feel where we fall short as talents is that we are a bit too humble with what we have. We feel that we don't need to talk about what we've done, we just need to keep it to ourselves. And as he said, we think that the recruiters will just come and knock on our doors and be like, yeah, here's a job, and they give you the job security, but it's not like that. It's the other way around, because right now you're competing against other people who are even better than you. But sometimes the best product is not what gets bought, but it's the product that is marketed the best. If you're able to market yourself the best and more effectively, and you're able to have a connection with those people who you are targeting, because I believe that with us we need to know who we want to attract to us, and we need to be able to market ourselves so that we can grab their attention. Because right now there's so many people out there with skills like us, but what can make us stand out is if we're able to show who we are as individuals, and also show why our value compared to the rest of the things that are in the market. Because as Ezekiel was telling me today in the morning when we met, most of Finnish people, even people employers, they are like customers. You can't come to a customer and tell them, oh, please buy my product, I need to pay my rent, I need to buy food. You won't sell your product. But if you're able to relate with what they need and what they may not know that they need, but if you're able to relate your product to their wants, then you can sell your products effectively. So I feel that we have the keys to success personally, but sometimes we make excuses. We blame shift, as I was telling you. You want to say that I'm unable to get a job because of Finland, but there are people who are succeeding in where you are not succeeding. How are they able to succeed if we're all meant to fail? So it means that if we look within and we look at what are we not doing right, what have I not done that is stopping me from getting this opportunity, I believe we'll find a lot more answers than if we shift the blame and we say, okay, Finland is too tough, it's a tough place to succeed, and therefore I should stop what I'm doing, maybe look for a blue-collar job and I get my job security. But if we're able to look within ourselves and know our goals and narrow down our options and say that, okay, I came to Finland to improve my career, because we all have people relying on us from our countries. So if we know what we want to do and we put in the effort and we put in the time, it may not happen within a short period of time. For some people, the timelines of success vary, but at some point you will reach that goal that you want to, and people will be able to recognize you and say, by the way, I've been following your journey. I've been seeing what you've been doing, because I started posting just this week, and one of my friends came to me when we met in the gym, and he was like, I've seen what you're doing on LinkedIn, though he's not like the photos, but he said, I like what you're doing, keep it up. So there are people watching. They might not acknowledge you as of now, but when they see you're consistent and then they see that you have that drive and the desire, soon things will fall into place. Yeah.
Perfect. Very, very, very important things you have mentioned. Starting from what you mentioned, of course, it's very challenging. I will admit that. For an international student or talent in Finland, you have to survive financially, but you have also to pursue your dreams. Yeah, but what I can say that we have been going wrong, the same as I did, is that what's supposed to be the emergency solution becomes the permanent solution. So like for me, I was hoping maybe I would, of course my first job was posting, and then after posting, then luckily I got this cleaning job after I failed to secure my PhD opportunity. But then this cleaning job I did first year, the second year, the third. Then I came to realize I have already spent 5 years cleaning. I've cleaned until 2023. I stopped at the end of 23. This is 25. Yes, I moved to Kuopio last year. Yeah, so I cleaned until 23 November. And of course, I had to deliberately decide that I want to stop. I've really struggled financially because I've really shaken up. And even people from the TE office, I had to go and register as a job seeker. But they were like, why did you stop this job? Of course, I had to come up with some valid excuses why I stopped. But the real reason was that I had to say, now it's enough. Though it was very difficult to get away from already source which is flowing. Yeah, as he stated, that sometimes having too many solutions, too many options is the problem, because I also believe we have unlimited potential, every one of us. I'm a Christian, and sometimes I use biblical references, so if some of you don't like to hear that, you'll offend me, but I'm not even a good Bible reader. But one of the verses in the Bible, it says, God can do exceedingly abundantly above all we can ever imagine or think, according to the power that works in us. God can do exceedingly abundantly, that in the way you have never imagined, and that is the truth. That's why we have some people who are now thinking of going to Mars. As much as you can think you can do, that's how much you can do. And that's why we end up having this this quote, that now your mind is the limit. We used to hear the sky is the limit, but somebody broke that up and said the sky now is no longer the limit. Now your mind is the limit, which means you quit first in your mind before you quit in the outside world. And basing on this, I even thought one day that even when you are jogging or sprinting, most of the time you might think like you can't go no longer, but the truth is you always convince yourself like, oh my God, you are tired, please just stop. Always happens like that. If you are that much tired and then you turn back, you see a dog is coming with the teeth out, you will be surprised where the energy will come from. You will run. You will run, and that's why you can climb even to the place that you have never imagined before, because you have got that thing. But going to a place and then you hear it doesn't work here. It put everything to rest, everything to rest. So you don't put any work, any struggle, because why would you push this wall if you know it can't move? Why would you bother with that? You would never push this wall if you know it can't move. So if you go someplace and they tell you, please, you can't find a job here because you don't speak Finnish language. You can't find a job here because of this and that, but the word you can't. And if you accept that, then you have said it. So you have to reach to a point to make a decision. Of course, you have to know first and then to make a decision. How do you know? Of course, that's why we have this program. That you have to know you deserve to succeed and you can. Like you said, success is already like tapped inside of you. All you need to know is to how do you really sell yourself? How do you polish your product and sell? And I think that's the difference. We have some people with unpolished product in store, and we have some people who are polishing and selling. I can also give you one simple story, which is also one of the reasons I'm doing what I'm doing now. So one time I was also going through a very tough time financially, and I was with my wife, and then I just decided, I said, okay, of course I talked with some people and they said, you know, doing business in Finland is very hard, especially for you as an African, because this is a racist country. So Finnish people trust Finnish people. And I think this has been very common. That's why most of the businesses, even business, especially now for Africans, because I've been observing most African entrepreneurs. I went to Helsinki Bazaar one time, and then it was supposed to be African entrepreneurs selling things, but I was surprised to see many Finnish people. They are the ones selling things, and I was like, what's happening? And one of the guys said, you know, if you stand yourself as an African, you won't sell a thing, because Finnish people, they don't trust Africans. They don't think you are good enough. So the trick is bring a Finn and let him stand here. So that's, many people believe that, even up to this moment. Yeah, so I also received the same comment, but I said, let me just give this a try. Of course, first of all, I put a lot of efforts reading the sales books, marketing books. I read, for example, marketing from Seth Godin. I read sales book from Brian Tracy and many other people, what to say, when to say. So I remember this one book which has this title, What Exactly to Say When Selling. And I said, let me try to experiment this book. So I was living now in Mikeli. So I went to one K-Market, which is very big at the city center, and just went and asked for the manager, and he came there. And initially, the good thing that, I don't know, this guy, how he wrote it to me, he was a magician. He explained what you should expect, even as a feedback, initially when you ask for a contact, and what should you say, and how you respond after that. So I was following the script. Initially, when he came up, said, of course, what do you want? And I said, I want to talk to you about business. And then he said, tell me, what do you want? Now, maybe can you do it in 2 minutes? And then I refused to tell him what he asked, because that's how the book is instructed. Never tell your idea while standing outside. Ask him to go inside so that you can sit and talk. And of course, they gave explanation that if somebody is talking to you while standing outside, first of all, it's like someone who has met a thug in the darkness. So the first thing, you prepare to throw a punch. So that's the mentality of somebody talking to you on the door. He's already prepared to object to whatever you're saying. But if somebody has sat down, relaxed, then they become, what's this word? Like they are more open to listen and understand. So I asked him, like, okay, if you can't, sit down with me now, tell me when I can come back. We can talk. And said, okay, let's go inside. So we went, we sat down, and I continued to follow the script on that book. Presented the idea, and then we spent about 30 minutes or so. He accepted the idea. That, okay, you can come. So the idea was for me and my wife to start making some breakfast stuff and go sell it through his shop. That meeting was quick and successful. Of course, now for me, I was only experimenting the idea, thinking that I was going to be rejected, but it worked out. I could not proceed with that idea because I didn't have any startup capital. I needed to have a good kitchen after that, kitchen which has to be inspected from the health guys. I needed to, to have some equipment, and I was seriously broke. So I could not proceed with that. But the good thing is, it worked out. So I was the only one who failed to meet my part. So that taught me that it is possible. You don't need anybody validation to tell you, okay, now you are able to, now you are. Though many people will be telling you, no, in Finland they only need nurses and cleaners. They only need this. You want to get, there's no IT, there is no coding, there is no this, there's no this. But there is, and there is a huge demand. But except that we only meet with people who can tell you, you can't succeed in this way, and you accept, and you go to the left. And that has been the case for majority of us. But I've realized it is possible. It is possible to succeed in the area of your expertise. We don't have to. Though cleaning is important, especially in the beginning, but with the mindset that I have to make this temporary. At some point, I have to get off from this bus. You have to make a decision. If you go automatically, the ride gets sweeter. Yeah, so you have to make a decision, and then at some point you have to make a turn. Yeah, so I will have to say thank you so much for coming today. Yeah, we're going to have to wrap up now. Thank you so much for coming. And this is just the beginning. As I stated in the pages on social media, I need us to have this type of conversation progressively. It is really helpful, and it sets up what I call as faith, or the mindset. Like I told you in the beginning, it's crazy for you to come and push this wall if you know it's not going to move. So the only difference that you can have here is just someone to tell you you can move this wall. If somebody can tell you, that means your chemistry rearranges itself. Always the chemistry in the body rearranges according to how much you think. If you think you can jump, the body prepares you to jump. That's why there are some people who can do things which you consider impossible, because they just consider it possible and they practice. You consider it impossible and you sit back and it stays impossible for you. So the beginning is conversation, create some sort of faith and a mindset, and then other things you go slowly. And maybe by concluding, I can say about this that who is an expert and who is a talent, who is an expert? Because most of us, we come to Finland, of course, with that. Again, I studied this in one of my videos. We have this mentorship, this mindset that, I'm going to Finland, so almost everything I meet, or every white person I meet, is supposed to be an expert. And I don't know nothing. So when you come here, you sit back, because we normally have to stay quiet when you meet somebody who knows superior than you do. You wait for them to say something. Yeah, but the thing is that everyone is an expert in this context. Your uniqueness, even if you have all studied one course, your uniqueness makes you unique in the delivery. You may study the same course, but when you go to deliver the content, even if it's presentation, you will deliver differently. You can never deliver exactly the same thing. And everything which is being produced can be utilized by someone out there, regardless of how much low you think it could be. So having that uniqueness, that already makes you an expert, because you already have something which someone else doesn't have. But now what makes the difference is that there are some people who will keep on polishing and improving and working on that thing which is unique, to the extent that everyone else can see and say, this guy is different in this area. And someone else who is also an expert in this area thinks it's unimportant, and they leave it there. I would say that's the only difference. So you being here, I believe you're already good in something which someone else has no idea, and no one else will do as much as you could do in that thing. But how far are you willing to go? How are you willing to go far with it? Maybe any concluding message from my mentors here, and then we can wrap up.
Okay. I think Ezekiel, I think you said it all. And Subi also made mention about success, yes, and how convenient it can be when you're that boss. you don't know when to leave. I mean, having that self-awareness of knowing when to jump off, you know. So I think with this program, this could be that awareness, this could be that trigger to tell you like, hey, you have this, you have this certain value that people need, and you just have to be able to put it out there, and this is what I think this could do for you. I know how important this is, you know. You just have to be able to open your mind, you know, and not be closed-minded regarding it, because of everyone already said it, like, we all know how it is out there, how difficult it is. But what if we could open your mind to possibilities, which I think this could do? This could be a key to unlimited opportunities. Of course, it might not happen in the next 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, even 2 years, you know. But then again, you're leaving your heart, your mind, giving yourself the opportunities to unlimited opportunity, because of, I believe, if you're closed-minded, it's very, very difficult for you to be able to see the opportunities even when it's glaring in your front, you know, because of, you're like, it's not possible, it's too good to be true. But when you have this open-mindedness, you can see it, even when it's as little as a mustard seed, you can definitely see it because of you're open-minded. And I think this thing we're doing here is a key to that. So I think I really urge everyone here to go through this. It's very, very important. I'm sure this is just the start. You know, I'm sure we have other people other mentors who are also here, who are not present here right now, who has a lot to offer, you know. And experience is one thing, having value is another thing. But having the ability to accept that this is what you can be is another thing. So having this open-mindedness is very, very important, and I think this is the key.
Yes, any concluding message?
I think to conclude would be probably unlearn the things that you probably heard about Finland before, the struggles and those challenges, and use this program as a springboard, because we are now starting a new year, so it's quite timely that the program is starting at the beginning of the year. So it would be a good platform to not just learn, but also to network with people from different parts. So make the most out of it, and who knows how much you can learn from it. So I wish programs like this were there when we first came to Finland, because we would have been way ahead. But sometimes our experiences and those challenges we go through are used to help other people who come after us. So just maximize as much as you can, ask as much questions as you can from not just the mentors who are here, but also from the other people who attend, and get to build that community where if an opportunity arises, someone can connect you with an opportunity here and there. So don't treat it like it's a course, but treat it like it's a community that we all play an individual part in its success. So it relies on all of us to contribute and to put in that effort and that time. So it might seem like it's not bearing fruit right now, but definitely it will be of benefit, because it will really help not just the mentees but also the mentors to know what are the things that people would need, what do we as mentors need to improve and to build and maybe to showcase. So yeah, let's just have a cohesiveness and work together towards the common goal, because we all want to be seen by employers and by recruiters, and we all want to be appreciated, because we've all put in a lot of work to be here where we are today. So let's keep on putting in that work and supporting each other.
Yeah, let me just say something.
Yes, please.
Regarding the Finnish language, yeah, we already know how difficult the Finnish language is, and it's very, very crucial when maybe getting a job, depending on what sector you're getting into. Yes, the Finnish language is very, very important. And I mean, it's important for you, not for the employers. because of
Yes.
it's the easiest way for you to integrate into someone's culture is the language.
Yes.
You know, you're able to, with the language, you're able to understand the jokes. You know, I am more funnier in my language than in a foreign language. You
Yes.
know? So I'm able to understand the jokes, I'm able to understand the music, I'm able to understand the art and the culture. You know, so the language is for you. It's difficult. It's very, very difficult. But the truth is this, you just have to keep learning it. And at some point you figure out like, oh, I understand what these guys are saying. You know, they're speaking Finnish and I can understand it. Again, it's not going to be 6 months. It could be, depending on how elastic your brain is. It could be 6 months, 3 months, you know, who knows? You know, but it's all about consistency.
Yeah.
The language is very, very important for you, not for them out there, but for you.
That's very
So if you're doing the language, you just tell yourself, I am not doing it to get a job, I am doing it for myself. Very, very important. Very, very important.
Yeah, and just to add that, I even added a post on social media that, and this is how I had to train myself to think this way, that Finnish language, first of all, I've been saying repeatedly, Finnish language is not a factor, you are not you are not employed. That's how I personally believe. But I'm not saying Finnish language is not important. It is critically important, but it is a process. I stated this, that it is a process. As you go out to buy something from K market, you have to work. You can't say, if somebody asks you why you didn't buy milk from K market, well, because I did not walk to the K market. I mean, that doesn't make sense. So it's part of the process. For you to get something, to adapt to the environment, you have to speak the language. Yes. And on top of that, if we continue to treat Finnish language as, you know, I don't get a job because I don't speak Finnish language. Of course, you can speak with good intention that, okay, now I have to learn the language because I need to get a job. But subconsciously, you are treating Finnish language as an obstacle for you to get a job. I could have got a job, but why you didn't get a job? Because of the language. So if you consider it as an obstacle, again, the chemistry in your body realigns to attack. It's the same way as your antibodies would attack any foreign substance in your body. That's how subconsciously, I've also done a lot of reading this conscious, subconscious mind stuff. So subconsciously, you treat language as your opponent, the obstacle. So you can do a lot of efforts, but you would never go any far because you have not accepted. Or you might even succeed, but it could take you a lot of energy to do that. But if you go with a different mentality, different mindset that I need the language to connect and grow, or at least you can think of yourself when you're in your home country, and then all of a sudden you hear a white man speaking your language, how do you feel? You feel like, oh my God, he can talk my language. Then you even wish they become your friend. That's how, if you start considering from that perspective, then you can at least understand, okay, so this is how much they would feel if I can speak their language. Then you can, I believe this can even give you more energy, you become even more adaptable to learning, it becomes easier. So we have to change the mindset that Finnish language stops us from getting jobs. Though it counts, but I would say the only place Finnish language can become really a reason you are not employed is if language itself is a product. And that is maybe if you are a translator or something like that. But apart from that, Finnish language is part of the process. You have to walk to the K market to get the product. You can't complain walking, or even if you are driving or riding a bus. But you have to walk to get a product. So that's, you don't even count. The only thing you can count whether you get a milk or not is if you have the money, or if it's there or not. Yeah, so I would say it's very, very much important to take that mindset to become easy. So yeah, so thank you so much. Maybe we can, is it okay if I can take a selfie with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Supi will tell us some, we can, no, you can just sit. We'll tell you later, but part of personal branding is being very active on social media. So for example, I would expect you all to take selfies and says, today, maybe I attended this program and how do you feel it when it went? This is how you start being active on social media and getting noticed. So let me Yes? No, you can just sit down. You don't need to move. I have to look for a better angle. I think this is the better angle. And I will try to, oops, this side. Yes, this is good. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Thank you so much. Yes. Yes, sir. Let's keep on communicating. Yeah. Okay, all right.
Yeah, thank you for the program.
Thank you so much.
I'm already in the child. How do you go?